Hello, my name is Cheryl Greer Jarman, and I'm a member of the core faculty of Human Development at Pacific Oaks College and Children's School. I am also proud to say that I am the oldest Pacific Oaks employee, having been here for over 35 years. I'd like to briefly share with you regarding what really happens in a Pacific Oaks classroom. Enjoy. I would like to briefly share with you some highlights regarding the mission, culture, and outreach of the institution of Pacific Oaks. In 2015, Pacific Oaks will celebrate 70 years of operation and service to the community and to the world. Having been at Pacific Oaks 35 of those 70 years, I believe I am uniquely qualified and pleased to say that we're still around and we have remained true, steadfast, and vigilant to the founding principles of Pacific Oaks. In 2010, faculty began a series of discussions about our core values. While 70 years has brought various changes in administration, environment, employees, and students, we were interested in clarifying and naming what we do on a daily basis that honors our heritage while preserving our future. An outcome of this process was the articulation of 7 core values. These are the values that are embraced in our classrooms, and I'd like to share with you the first value that we collectively agreed with, and that value was to have a democratic classroom, which simply means all members of a community have the right to contribute to its governance. We based each of these values on some theoretical conceptualizations, and for this particular value, some of the theorists we used were Dewey, Vygotsky, Orwell, and Freire. The second core value is inclusion, diversity, social justice. Absence of fairness must be continually recognized and named. Vigilance and continual questioning are essential to sustain social justice. And the theoretical constructs are Cazal, Delpit, Cummins, and Cronin. The third value is caring. Caring as a value reflects the assumption that human services professions require a moral commitment to those served. And the theoretical constructs for that are Kohlberg, Noddings, Belinsky, and Kamai. The next value is building on strengths, authentic assessment. Authentic assessment is based on written and oral documentation and demonstration by performance. It seeks to construct an informative, individualized story picture of the student's learning and competence, not to rank the student on a numerical scale. And the theoretical constructs for that are Malaguzzi, Paley, Coyne, and Gardner. The next value is learning through play. Play being defined as intrinsically motivated construction of knowledge needs to be mastered as a lifelong skill, basic to investigation and complex thinking in the arts, humanities, and in human relations. And the theoretical constructs for that are Ashton Warner, Knowles, Piaget, and Erikson. The next is intellectual and moral autonomy. To understand is to invent. Choice begins with a question. What will happen if I? What will happen if we? And the theoretical constructs are Lawrence Lightfoot, Emilia, Coles, and Egan. The last value is transformative learning, to result in significant change in how our life is lived and relationships with others. Know thyself, listen to others, be attentive to others, Believe in the potential of others at any stage of development. Become a more sensitive, aware, caring, responsive human being. Tell us how your life has changed. And the theoretical constructs for that are Jones, Frary, and Greer Jarman. The process in terms of articulating our values, core values as faculty, then I began to look at what happens in my classroom. And I devised a paper that looks at the flavors of Pacific Oaks College. It's divided into two sections, the traditional academic practice and the Pacific Oaks practice, as well as being divided into three categories: pedagogy, style, and assessment. Most of us have lots of familiarization with what happens in traditional academic practice. We know that there is an established canon, there is often directed teaching, it is often lecture-based, and the status maintenance is in the teacher. The instruction is in the teacher's learning style, and the ideological base of the teaching is in what is defined as dominant culture ideology. At Pacific Oaks, the things that are different and unique about us is that the established canon is a co-constructed knowledge. There is collaborative models of learning and inquiry, that there are dialogical encounters in the classroom, so your voice is important. There is empowerment in the classroom, which means that the teacher is not the only person who has knowledge worthy of sharing with the rest of the class environment. The next variable is style, and in traditional educational models, the style of the classroom is teacher designed. The style of the teacher is to give out information, that there is an agenda that's already been pre-established, and that a lot of what happens in the class is based on statistical information, and oftentimes in classrooms, you are hungry. At Pacific Oaks, the style in the classroom is learning friendly, which means that we are a part of a learning community and that all of us can share in on what's happening. Instead of information, the goal is transformation, to look at what we're learning, and how we can utilize that in life after Pacific Oaks. The agenda is established, but it also has room for emergence, which means sometimes we have to go off of the page for a moment and talk about some things that are pressing, and it may be because of individual needs or societal needs. The focus is on community, and yes, we do have food in classes. The third variable is assessment. And in traditional models, assessment is often identified by grades, by tests, and by norms. At Pacific Oaks, yes, we do have grades, but accompanying the grade is a narrative evaluation that explains you as a person, as a student, as a contributor to the class process, and ways to look beyond that particular topic. And the last one is that it's a developmental process, which honors where you were when you came in, honors where you are at that present, and honors where you're going in the future.